we're still having fun right here on a Wednesday. I mean, yes, of course. I mean,
It's
when
my
it comes to
day.
the AM Club, most definitely, you will definitely get the fun, of course.
Did I confuse you with It's My Day?
Yeah. You see, that's one thing I don't like about Equiafo. No? I mean,
We need to let you know. You need to know, bro.
You're just too
Bro,
known.
you need to
know.
know.
You guys are too known for nothing.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Equiafo,
Excuse me?
This is what I wanted.
Look at me.
This is what I wanted to get out of her.
And for everything and more, bro.
Yeah. We're everything and what?
And more.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, we'll talk about IKEA people later. But
because
anyways,
you're fantastic.
There's a Kwame inside the studio, so.
And thank God it's not a Kojo though.
Yeah. That's IKEA people for you, like.
I mean, because what
anyways,
you mean?
we're glad to have renowned director and photographer Kwame Koda right here. He is a director and a photographer, for that matter. Welcome to the show. I'm sorry for the hitches here and
He's
there.
fine.
It's normal.
He's fine.
Yeah. Do you get that on set a lot? Sometimes, people trying to,
It's good.
It gives.
Calm down.
Okay. Great stuff.
I like it.
Great stuff. I like that. Photography.
Yeah.
Directing.
Yeah.
They're two different things.
Yeah.
So how did you land yourself in both?
So I started with photography, right? And I had to come up with ideas and then put things together. Normally you're supposed to do it with a team, but normally photographer here, we do it all alone. So I realized that I'm not just taking pictures, I'm also putting sets together. So I wanted to find out what was the meaning of that, not just doing photography and also putting things together. And I learned that was what creative direction was all about. So I was like, okay, then why don't I just add that too? So along the line, adding creative direction into it, I decided to branch off into video making.
Okay.
And that's where film directing also came in being.
All right.
Yeah.
The picture that we have on the screen right now.
Yeah.
I know it's a picture, but
Yeah.
it's you in your creative space.
Yeah.
I could just imagine that.
Yeah.
So run us through. I mean, what connotes your creativity when you're trying to direct, especially because it's not that easy doing that.
Yeah.
Well, photography, someone will say, "Oh, let me just pick up a camera." That one,
Yeah.
campo, is a different ball game altogether. It depends on what you're capturing and how best you can capture that.
Yeah.
But it looks like your creative piece is different from others. So run us through it.
Yeah. So me, basically, I believe I am a creator. I'm mimicking God's work. So in order to do that, photography is basically capturing a moment or capturing something with light. And I feel like there are times where I want to make what I'm capturing a bit much more interesting. And when I started, I was also doing graphic design. So when I launched into the photography space, I was thinking about ways where I could make my work different. So I decided to add my graphic design to my photos. So my photos are not just normal photos. It has a bit of manipulation in it. But recently, I've started using the color orange a lot. I derived that from the statement. People say the sky is the limit. And I'm like, what if I want to go beyond the sky? What if I want to go to the sun? So I decided to use the sunset as like my symbol or what I stand for, because it sort of like tells the journey of where I'm going to. So I want to go beyond the sky. I want to go to the sunset. So if I want to go beyond the sky to the sunset, I need a vision or something that I'm aspiring towards. So I use a lot of orange in my colors just to show where I'm heading to and how I'm trying to be bigger than what I am right now. So those are the things that make my work different. You see manipulation in there. You see a lot of orange colors in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there you have it on the screens.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand why he is inculcating the sun conversation representing orange in the conversation, well, that's what you're seeing on the screen. Now, one would say that every time we talk about a creative piece, there are lots of behind the scenes people which you happen to belong to.
Yeah.
The guys that actually make what we see on the screens happen. We saw a couple of videos, and by the way, Liquor was directed and directed by you.
Yeah, directed by me.
By you, and then the very first one with Patoranking.
Mimi and
Patoranking also was directed by you.
Yeah.
Great videos, by the way.
Yeah.
Videos that have gone very, very far.
Yeah.
Lots of people have talked about, especially the Familia video.
Yeah.
A lot of people have talked about what went into that, and so
Yeah.
that's the guy behind it. Now they are behind the scenes. Over time, do you think that Ghanaians or the world has accepted to project more the people that get the work done? Do you think you're appreciated enough?
Yeah, I think Ghanaians not so much, but I believe we are getting there because right now we are moving from just doing something for it to work to trying to compete with the international markets and other people. Our Nigerian brothers and sisters are doing so much. So I think we see that and then we want to aspire to that too as well. We also want to catapult ourselves to the international market. So in order to do that, we need to step up our game. So I believe in that case, people are learning to appreciate our craft more and then they are bringing us the work.
I'm glad that you bring Nigeria because this comparison does not only stay in music.
Yeah.
It does not stay in our economy. It goes beyond that into other creative aspects of our life, fashion, movies, what have you, even food now.
Yeah.
Now, but let's stay on the creative space where you're talking photography and you're even comparing it to them.
Yeah.
What do you think they're doing differently? Why are they so loud in everything, especially even in the space that you belong to, than you think we are?
I think they're stubborn and
They're stubborn.
They're stubborn, huh?
Yeah, they're stubborn and they're not scared to invest. That's one of the problems I have with our Ghanaian people here, because and to some extent I understand, because sometimes you barely get the return on your investment. So I understand that, but I believe if we want to start something and we want to get somewhere, we need to start now. We need to start making those sacrifices and those investments to bring us to where we want to be in the future. So I think that's one thing they are really doing that's taking them far. They made, I don't know if it was calculated, but it's working for them.
It's working for them.
Yeah, so
lots
I believe
of investments and
a
stuff
lot
they
of
do.
investments. Yeah.
How do we get there?
Yeah, we need to take risks. We need to take a lot of risks. We need to support each other. I believe if we were really getting the support from wherever, I mean, I think Ghanaians, what I've noticed is that when they see you are accepted outside, that's when they want to start supporting you. But it should start from here. It should be the reverse. We should start supporting each other from now. We should start helping each other. I believe that's the way we can also compete with them, because aside Nigerians getting support, they also have numbers. Now they have international numbers. So I believe we need to start with ourselves. We need to start from here now.
So when it comes to, again, the kind of things that we channel, one would say that, okay, what are you putting out for us to support? It's one of the conversations that I've spun out of the conversation of support your own, support your own.
Yeah.
What are you bringing out from the movies, from the music? What are you bringing out for us to support? And by the way, how these people get the kind of support, the systems in place. Do we have these systems in place to make sure that the director and the photographer feels like they belong to a family?
Yeah.
How we don't have that. So what are people supporting?
They're supporting efforts. They're supporting how should I say? Let me stand on efforts per se, because it's one thing to support something that is not moving, and it's another thing to support something that is moving. Because if it's moving, it's definitely going to get there. So I believe if Ghanaians are saying there's nothing that supports, they should do their research. Well, there's something. We are doing something. We are doing the work. I mean, you saw the 2 videos that was just played now. It's something. If I had it was a good budget though. If I had I had a budget 10 times the amount, it would have definitely been crazier. So I believe they should support the effort that we are putting into it, and then they should trust and believe that within just a small space of time, we're going to get there. So they should support that.
We are going to put something on the screens. We want you to kindly explain, the creativity behind it. Can we have it on the screens now? Great.
Oh.
So this art cover, explain to us. I mean, what was the creativity behind this? This 5th dimension.
Yeah.
One would have thought maybe we'll see all 5 fingers, on his face. but it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. But anyways, explain to us.
I go explain that. So with this one specifically, I handled photography.
Okay.
Creative direction was done by K Studios, who is
K Studios.
Famia's personal photographer. So I think the idea behind that was that they wanted to create like a portal to transfer people from the real world to the feed dimension.
Okay.
And I believe your eyes are the portal to your, they are the space or opening to your spirit or to your soul. So I wanted to, the main focus for this picture was with the eye. I wanted to have that glitter in there. I wanted people to be able to look at the picture and then notice that there's something very peculiar about the picture, which is the eye. And I wanted that to sort of like, it's a mind game. I wanted that to like catapult them from their universe into a feed dimension. The feed dimension is the experience you get from the album and the songs on it. Yeah.
Okay. How do you tend to balance, or I know maybe this will be, you get into a lot of fights because you have your creative idea. Here is the brand and the client that you're working with who's maybe over creative as well. I'll tell you one thing, I know all of them are kind of creative, but there's one musician that I've worked with that I feel like this guy wants to do everything on his own, and I'm like, sometimes, why do you even hire people in the first place? That's Tiny.
Oh.
Tiny can do everything. Yeah. He would bring you on and everything, but it's quite difficult to, bring your creative piece to whatever it is. Because he has a mind of it. So meeting people like that, I mean, and you are a creative director too as well. How do you balance that?
So me, I had a very creative approach to it. I think you need to spend time building some sort of credibility.
Okay.
So before I launched into the music space, I decided to step aside and take one whole year of taking pictures that make people look like superstars. Okay. So I spent a whole year building that portfolio for myself. Then I made a whole list of musicians I want to work with, and I sent them to them. And that was how I launched into the music space. Okay. So when I started working with them, so far I've shot about like 17 music videos, and I've never sent an email or text to anybody to work with. They always come with me. They always come to me because of that credibility. And then the funny thing I noticed is that anytime I meet them, right, on set, we sort of like talk the same way. Like we talk in a very futuristic, passionate, emotional way, and that's the same way. So we kind of relate, and everybody around the set is like confused, like what are these people talking about? Like I remember when I was shooting the cover for Stone Boy, it's like, hey Charlie, this one they enter into some universe. So, and I'm like, I wanted to talk that way at first, but I felt like these people would think I'm crazy. So when you started talking, I'm like, wait, this is how I've been thinking. This is exactly how I envision things in my head. So the funny thing is that I realized launching into the space after building that credibility, I have an easy relationship with them. I have that same relationship with Famia. I'm very close with Famia. He and I, we even travel outside and all of that. So spending time to build some sort of credibility helps you to be able to bridge that gap. So I've actually had it easy on with clients.
Oh, first time I'm getting a case to say that, listen, I got this way. Lately, I mean, it looks like everyone finding their way in the creative scene is finding a way out. Like, it's like I'm navigating through this, and then I found, oh, there's actually a bigger door open, and I just turn left and I get into it. Now, so far, what would you say has been your most difficult project? That project when you got on it, you're like, hey, who sent me here?
I promise you that will have to be the Liquor music video.
Is that so?
Yes.
Why?
We started shooting from 6 a.m. We finished 6 a.m. the following day.
What?
That was how intensive it was. And we only did, the funny thing is we only did 2 sets. So the maze and then the like a bar scene. The bar scene, we started setting up for morning, but we were only able to start shooting at 8 p.m. And then for the main scene, we started setting up at 11 p.m. We shot from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. So that was like one of the most intensive work I've done. I had mosquito bites. We shot at Ebri. I had mosquito bites all over me, no sleep. It was a mess. And then because there was no electricity there, we had to even buy fuel from outside to bring to the mountain. And then we had exhausted it around I think 2 a.m. So we had to drive all the way back into Accra around 2 a.m. looking for a full to come back and continue because we were shooting outside and we need to have lights all over the maze. We built like 50% of that maze, so it wasn't all VFX. So it was quite intensive. It was just 2 sets. It was supposed to be a simple music video, but it was very yeah.
Wow. And it came out a success because people love the song, love the video.
It came out a success, and I don't know if I should mention this, but another bad thing that happened is we lost like 20% of the files.
After?
Yes.
You're kidding
We
me.
stored it on a drive. The next day, the drive stopped working.
What?
Whoa.
It wasn't working.
After all that work?
After all that work, it wasn't working. So
Were you about to lose your mind?
Oh, I lost my mind from morning to the next day because I was moving around, and I think even the day before, it rained for like 4 hours straight. So the maze, we had to leave the maze outside. It was a lot. It was a lot to work with.
Now, when it comes to budgets, because that brings me to, is all of this worth it? Why would I go on top of that mountain, lose lights, lose fuel? Like, what is all this? Budget-wise, do you consider all these discrepancies before, putting together a budget for an artist, or you just have a fixed one? It happens within this budget.
It's the two of that.
Oh.
So what I try to do is that I try to push up the extent of the budget to accommodate for any problems or anything that might happen that will affect the resources that I have available. So for me, I don't stick to what exactly will work for it. I try to push it because I always know, and it's been the same thing with every video I've shot. We always go over what I would have proposed initially. So I've noticed that, and every time I try to push it up a little bit. So I always have space to accommodate for any thing that goes wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let's talk about the future for Koda.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about your name because I was asking you earlier, and you said it's your
Initials.
Yeah. That's like, why do you choose Koda? You could have chosen any name. I mean, why Koda? Because already there was already a Koda in the system.
I've taken over now.
You've taken over now. Makes beautiful so
and I really liked him. I really like Koda.
You look cool like yourself.
Yeah.
Koda for now. Now let's move into what we should be looking forward to in the future for Kwame Koda.
Yeah, so in the future, I started from photo. I'm in filmmaking now. In the future, I will want to launch into architecture. But not just any kind of architecture. I want to bring the orange there too. I want to do orange buildings or orange structures. I have like mock-ups of that on my page where I've made some orange structures. So in the future, we're looking at architecture, and I want to be, if it hasn't happened by then, I want to be one of the first people to build Ghana's first skyscraper.
Yeah?
So yeah. So I'm working on that.
Go for it.
And I've been making some small structures in my music videos. Was it liquor? No, there was I shot I Lied for Kitty, and I had an orange structure in there. So it's something I'm going to launch into, but I'm not leaving anything behind. I'm coming with everything, and I'm launching into the film space too. I want to make biopics. I want to make Kwame Nkrumah on a grand scale, like how the Holy People are doing. I want to make Yasantua. I want to make big movies. So I'm looking forward to seeing myself in that aspect.
I thought he was about to say, I want to make Kwame Nkrumah orange.
I did. And ironically, I'm wearing orange today, so I fit into your dream.
Orange is the new black.
Yeah, you're going somewhere.
We're going somewhere, right?
Yeah. Orange is the new black. So we get it.
I think I should add this. I don't know if I have time for this.
You can quickly do that.
Yeah, quickly. The whole idea of the orange is that I'm inspiring people to chase their sunset. I'm inspiring people to go beyond wherever they find themselves. So if I'm a photographer, I want to be the best photographer.
Yeah.
I want you to be the best presenter. I want the best doctor, the best nurse, the best everything. So I believe in everybody trying to be the best on themselves. That's when we're going to have the best of Ghana. That's when we're going to have the best of Africa, and we're going to have the best of everything. So I'm using the orange thing to inspire and motivate people to chase after their dreams and become bigger than become what the ideal of themselves. So that's my message, and that's the whole idea of the orange. I just wanted to put out there because
Love that. How do we connect with you on social media?
So it's Kwame Koda on Instagram. It's KWAMEKODAH on Instagram. Everywhere else is Kwame Koda without the H.
Right. Go follow him. He's doing amazing on his page, and come and thank me later. Now, we have a video that we're going to be wrapping up this entire show with, but a big thank you to you for being a part of the show every single morning, joining us right here. We are still updating you on the U.S. election, so stay with us on mx24.app/voting voices, and of course also on our social media platforms. It's MX24 everywhere, but when you go on X, it's MX24 TV. Be there with us. Let's have a good time following up on what is happening in the U.S. So far, updates coming up are quite interesting. People are hating me in the studio, but we're going to be fine. But thank you so much for being a part. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. Thank you so much, Kwame Koda, for coming through.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Kojo Daasebre. Thank you so much for being part of the show. We'll see you same time tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., where we bring you nothing but the very best right here on the biggest morning show, that is the AM Club Radio on MX24GH. Well, we wrap it up and we leave you in the capable hands of one of the creatives coming in from Kwame Koda, of course, is Bambalika. Bam, bam, Bambalika. Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow.
You want to finish me with your